Copernican. The Copernican revolution was the paradigm shift from the Ptolemaic model of the heavens, which described the cosmos as having Earth stationary at the center of the universe, to the heliocentric model with the Sun at the center of the solar system. This revolution consists of two phases, being extremely mathematical in nature and starting in 1610 with the publication of a pamphlet by Galileo, Ptolemaic or geocentric system. The Earth is considered to be the center of the solar system. The Moon, the planets, the Sun, and the stars all rotate around the Earth with uniform circular motion. They compose the heavens, which are considered to be ethereal and unchanging. The opposite of the geocentric system is Copernican heliocentric system. This model positioned the Sun at the center of the universe, motionless, with Earth and the other planets orbiting around it in circular paths modified by epicycles and at a uniform speed. Nicolaus Copernicus rediscovered the heliocentric model, or Aristarchus. He found to his dismay that it better fit the observed facts than the geocentric model. Nicolaus Copernicus was a Polish astronomer known as the father of modern astronomy. He was the first modern European scientist to propose the Earth and other planets revolve around the Sun, or the heliocentric theory of the universe. 7 points of the Copernican system. Number 1. The celestial spheres do not have one common center. The Earth is not at the center of everything. Number 2. Earth is not the center of the universe. Only the center of gravity and the lunar orbit. Only the Moon orbits the Earth. Number 3. All the spheres orbit the Sun. Spheres means the planets. Number 4. Compared to the distance to the stars, the Earth to Sun distance is almost non-existent. The stars are very much farther away than the Sun. Number 5. The motion of the stars is due to the Earth rotating on its axis. Number 6. The motion of the Sun is the result of the Earth's motion, the rotation and revolution. Number 7. The retrograde and forward motions of the planets is caused by the Earth's motion. It is caused by the fact that Earth's orbit is different length than the other planets. The term retrograde comes from the Latin word retrogradus, which literally means backward step. As the name suggests, retrograde is when a planet appears to go backward in its orbit, as viewed from Earth. Astronomers refer to this as apparent retrograde motion, because it is an optical illusion. The opposite of retrograde is direct or propagate motion. The propagate motion is the term astronomers prefer, while astrologers are more prone to use the term direct motion. This was the heliocentric model, which is the Sun was the center of the universe, and the Earth revolves around it. Copernicus' book, De Revolutionibus, was published in 1543, the year Copernicus died. De Revolutionibus, English translation on the revolutions of the heavenly spheres, is the seminal work on the heliocentric theory of the astronomer Nicolaus Copernicus of the Polish Renaissance. Note that Copernicus himself originally gave credit to Aristarchus in his heliocentric treatise De Revolutionibus Caelestibus, where he had written, Philolaus believed in the mobility of the Earth, and some was the opinion. Interestingly, this passage was crossed out shortly before publication, maybe because Copernicus decided his treatise would stand on its own merit. Aristarchus of Samos, born in 310 BCE, died in 230 BCE, a great astronomer who maintained the Earth rotates on its axis and revolves around the Sun. He is the first known astronomer that introduced the heliocentric model of the solar system. He claimed the Sun, not the Earth. He was the fixed center of the universe and that the Earth, along with the rest of the planets, revolve around the Sun. Galileo Galilei, Italian mathematician and philosopher, he performed experiments to test his ideas, a radical idea then. He is regarded as the father of experimental science. The telescope was invented in Holland early in the 17th century. Galileo heard about it and, although never having seen one, he made his own in 1609. With it, he saw the mountains, valleys, and craters of the moon, spots the suns, which eventually blinded Galileo, the face of Venus, and perhaps the most significant, he saw four moons orbiting Jupiter, known as the Galilean moons. All these observations suggested that the Ptolemaic model was wrong and the Copernican model was correct. Galileo published his finding in Sidereus Nuncius, the Starry Messenger, in 1610. This was a very risky action for Galileo. In 1600s, Giordano Bruno was born at the stake in Rome for, among other things, teaching that the Earth orbited the Sun. In 1616, Copernicus' work were banned by the Roman Church, and Galileo was told to stop researching and stating such nonsense. In 1632, Galileo published a new book, Dialogue concerning the two chief world systems. The Copernican model was not well accepted by scholars or the public. It violated the religious teaching of the time. Three people debating Ptolemaic and Copernican models. The Aristotelian wins, but his arguments are obviously inferior. The Inquisition forced Galileo, under threat to torture, to recant his claim that the Earth orbited the Sun. He was placed under house arrest in 1633 and remained in prison until his death in 1642. Galileo's crimes were publicly forgiven by the Catholic Church in 1992, but by this time damage was done, and the Copernican model continued to gain acceptance as the year passed. Earth's orbit of the Sun couldn't be proven until the unmanned probes of 1960s, 70s, and 80s. The fact that the Earth moves at all was proven by parallax in 19th century. Parallax is the effect whereby the position or direction of an object appears to differ when viewed from different positions. Copernican principle. Earth is not special in cosmological sense. Nicolaus Copernicus is important today because he created a theory that changed history. He discovered the theory of heliocentric that the planets revolve around the sun. He also wrote a book about his ideas of the universe, called On the Revolution of the Heavenly Spheres, and published it right before he passed away. Copernicus contributed to society, having a major impact on astronomy and science. He also changed the way of thinking in Catholic teachings. Copernicus also demolished Ptolemy's theory, the geocentric theory, which took a while and was very hard to do. Copernicus died before he could convince everybody about the heliocentric model.